Now we just have to wait for it to hook in. Usually takes like a hot second. All right, I think we are active on both. Perfect. Hey everyone, Wanderbots here, and we are going to be playing some more Temtem Swarm today. Specifically because we enjoy the game, but also because Kramo was kind enough to reach out and sponsor the video, the previous stream, and now this one. And then I guess we're streaming this on both Twitch and YouTube, so there might be a little bit of crossover chat going on, where I respond to phantom people that you might not see in chat. But should mention that Temtem Swarm is available now on Steam. It's been out for a couple of days now. And it's $10 in 3-player co-op, which we are enjoying thoroughly. I'm gonna beat the drum. I really think more Bullet Heavens should just have co-op just built in. It's so much more fun. Yeah. So, I don't know if you guys caught the last stream, but we'd unlocked Crystal and we both had I guess Shell had a fine run of it, but I got wrecked in a really bad way. Yeah, you were tanky and I was not. Should be. Oh, cannot hear Shell? Oh, god damn it. Did it? That's a problem.
Wait, no one's been hearing me this entire time?
Yeah, so what must have happened here, I think I know how to fix it. Oh yeah, it just set you to default for some reason. Alright, can you say word?
Hello?
Okay, now you can hear Shell.
Hi?
Yeah, she's been a phantom in the background. Yeah, just randomly, ooh, there we go. Good thing we were, paused while leveling. Let's see. Court shield, no, let's just go for crystal technique damage. There we go. Yeah, OBS just randomly was like, hey, let's just set Shell to a different microphone. No warning whatsoever. Please tell me ASAP if there's an audio issue, because I literally do not know more often than not.
I suppose you should say that. Can you hear both of us?
Yeah.
Now, it's interesting. I got something called Kismet.
Yes.
Yeah, and it seemed to show your character's portrait
so
on it.
It's the synergy for Grassblade.
Ah.
So, I guess kind of like we've explored with the other Temtem, there are cross synergies between different Temtem. So you can pick up a passive that will specifically give me bonus of... Oh, these are all bad. I guess I'm going to grab that one. You can grab a passive that'll let me get my evolutions, which is so nice. And
well, the funny thing is now I can get Grassblade.
Yes. Well, you might as well.
Or Glassblade. Not. I was thinking Grassblade because, you know, they're green, right? Oh,
yeah,
no.
But no, it's glass. Yeah. Volume kind of low for anyone else. Shouldn't be. Let's see. Oh, Diamond Blade. Synergizes with something of yours? I have no idea.
But which one?
Oh, no, I see. Oh, so it isn't called Glass Blade, it's just called Diamond Blade. Huh. I don't know why I thought it was,
I said it was glass for a while. I think diamond is the next one up.
Maybe? Let's see. The volume seems good. So do you level up together? Yes. So one of the options that we picked at the very beginning of this is...
Oh, we have a dual
dual event coming
below.
down. I have share experience on, so Shell and I don't have to worry about competing for experience. When we were playing the demo originally, I would outlevel her pretty consistently, and that's just not a good experience. And so I'd rather
He
just
was more
have
aggressive, and I'm more of a runner,
Yep.
so I wouldn't collect all that experience.
And so she'd end up underpowered by the end of a round, and that was, that's just not a good experience for anybody. Technically it makes me feel powerful, but like, then I have a teammate that I then need to make sure they don't die. And that feels bad. Right, I should be going out of my way to pop every box. Let's see.
So this is a control zone.
Yep, I'm coming. I'm close. Let's see. I definitely don't want to turn co-op into competitive. Yeah. Yeah? Oh yeah. I don't think I like a single competitive co-op game. Like, any of the ones where you're, like, competing to see, like, who can get the most kills or anything. Mm-hmm. Wait, Shell and I's, like, first kind of I'm gonna say real dates. We've definitely been hanging out beforehand, but when I was like actively trying to romance her.
Romance. That's such a verb that you would get from
wife.
video games.
But we were playing Darkside Chronicles together, and it would give you individualized scores, and we were really competitive about that, but it was also kind of moot because whoever killed the last boss, like, got the last hit in.
Well, whoever gets the kill on any creature.
Yeah, would get the points, no
Yeah.
matter how much damage was done. And so Shell just last hits the boss and gets, like, all of the points. I was a little cranky at that because I'd been doing so well up until that point.
Well, he was more of a shotgun user, and I was using the...
Yeah, I think you had the SMG or something.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
It never got the big punches
Yeah.
necessary to kill things. I would whittle down a bunch of things, and then you would be able to use the shotgun to do the finishing blow. So you got a lot of points that way.
Another event to the top right, by the way.
Okay.
Let's see. Quartz shield. I don't need quartz shield. Let's see. I have no idea why Vampire Survivor games are popular. Don't understand the concept. I mean, they're just kind of fun arcadey games. It's take all the fun and build crafting. All the fun and build crafting of, like, your standard roguelike and kind of dial it down and get rid of a lot of the extra fluff. And then have, I'm going to say, more interesting build velocity as well. Because there's a lot you can do in many of these games, just in terms of like tweaking stats and coming up with combos. I think the easiest way to put it though is like a lot of bullet heavens aren't for you until you find the one that really clicks, and then it's good. So.
There's a sub boss.
Yeah, we can go take it out. If people want to skip the story, run around and just get to murder. I mean, that is kind of what it is, though. Like, it is actually really satisfying having a game, having games that you can specifically not worry too much about, like, getting bogged down with story elements or exploration or fiddly puzzles or, I'm even going to say, like, harsh difficulty curves. And also the... Oh, Diamond Blade is the passive. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Glass Blade is the active. Yeah, sometimes you want a game where you just don't have to think. That's kind of part of it, but it's like I definitely spend a lot of time thinking on these. It's just I'm not. It's a different kind of engagement. It's more kind of casual podcast play.
But I would say that, like what you were saying before, this is arcadey.
Yeah.
In that sense of short, pretty straightforward. Obviously, there are different builds that you can acquire and try out, and new characters to play as.
Yeah, the short reason why they're so popular is when they're done right, they're an absolute dopamine factory. Yup. I loved Dynasty Warriors when I was younger. That was the big one. Like Bullet Heavens before Bullet Heavens, where you're just some, like, samurai lord running around and just mulching hordes of, you know, opposing armies. And like it was legitimately fun to make, like, well, I guess I had the version with the I had the version where you can make your own characters, because it was Extreme Legends was kind of the weird spin-off, you know, play the hits game instead of like a more consistent narrative.
This mineral hail is constant.
Yep. I think it's got a
It's a synergy.
yeah. Wasn't the guy who made Vampire Survivors a slot machine designer before? Oh, I think I did hear that. Want a Bullet Heaven, but a first-person shooter. There is Vampire Hunters, and then there's another one called... Oh, I forget the name of it. They sent me an email. They want me to potentially, like, do an early showcase of the early access version.
Is it alright to be talking about this, considering this is supposed to be about Temtem Swarm?
True.
Because you can vaguely talk about the
That's a good
appeal
point.
of...
I don't know. I think it's inevitable to bring up the comparisons. I think Vampire Survivors is the one safe one, considering it is functionally the progenitor. But yeah, there are actual first-person shooter ones. The problem is it doesn't actually work. Like the top-down nature of these games is...
Well, this is so that you can see the enemies as they're approaching you and avoid them.
The problem I have with a first-person shooter is that, like, you can't quite have the same hordes in the same way. Because shooting behind you is unsatisfying. Whereas in this one, my character has like a poison beam that rotates around them, and I can see that mowing through enemies. I've just got a lot of stuff like that. Yeah, over the shoulder could work, third-person shooter could work. I could see this as like a third-person action game working reasonably well. But even then, I feel like it requires a greater degree of like combat mechanics. People aren't just going to accept a really basic walk around and hit things from like a first-person shooter or a character action game perspective. Whereas it works fine when it's top-down because you're not really expecting too much.
There's an event down south.
Yep, I think it's a solo one, so you can start it if we want to.
I think it's just Pansuns.
Okay. But yeah, I'd love to see the genre evolve into different directions. I'm actually kind of hoping with this they lean even further into the monster collection elements. Like, I'm glad that they have a cast of, what is it, 13?
There's a lot that hasn't been added.
Yeah, there's a lot that haven't been added. Currently in the game, there's, what, 7 Temtem that are playable? I'd actually love to see them just embrace, like, a lot of the cast of Temtem and just be like, here's 30. You know, really make it a much deeper monster collection experience.
How many have they used as enemies, though?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've got almost every Temtem in the game. Or they probably will by the time it's done. But I would love to see some of the, like, collection carry into that as well. I could just see that working quite well, but also recognize it is a lot of work, and it's a $10 game, and you know, maybe leave that for a sequel if they make one. Yeah, the problem with too many characters is they start becoming samey. You know, that's a problem with like all monster collection games. You know, what's the difference between?
Well, I would actually consider it to MOBAs and whatnot.
Yeah. Oh God, I don't even know how like League of Legends does it. There's an event down here, but we should probably kill this shark.
Okay. Shark, or is it more like a catfish?
If you want to say it's a shark thing.
Yeah, maybe it looks more like a hammerhead.
Yeah, it's definitely got hammerhead eyes. Even if it's not that wide. League of Legends definitely has too many. And the problem is, they literally cannot stop. They have no choice. Because that is how they make money. But, like, balancing it must be abysmal. I can imagine other games like, well, I mean, most other games. From this perspective, it's not bad, because, yeah, they could keep adding more, and it wouldn't matter too much, because you'd already have your movesets. You just have, like, a little bit of a stat differential and different talent trees. Here, let's get the event down south if you're ready.
Okay, sure.
But, you know, I think the big time sink would mostly be just making enough interesting moves to match them all. Oh, these dang red zones are sitting on the point. I gotta wait.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm good. Let's trigger it before it gets bad. Okay, and watch out because more of them are spawning.
Yeah, more of those red area effects.
Are they like where a certain enemy is dying?
I think so.
Okay. Oh. 5 more seconds. At least this is not that hard. Okay, looks like we're good. Now just don't get wrecked.
Yeah, I'd given up my quartz shield, so things are a little bit more dicey. Actually, I missed that quartz shield.
Yeah, there should be plenty of food. There's a cherry on the ground here if you need it.
Okay.
And then there's a peach up north. And then we've got another duo event that we can go do as well.
Because I decided to get the things that I could potentially use as synergies, and so that meant replacing one of my crystal moves with a electric move. And unfortunately, that meant I gave up my quartz shield.
I was trying to get Mineral Rain, but it just didn't show up until now, so I had to replace one of my level 3 moves with a level 1. That hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that bad, though? Let's see. Are you... Yeah, you're looking healthy enough.
I'm looking better, but I would prefer to have more health.
Oh, I guess I'll grab the peach in this area, because you're not going to be coming by.
Okay, now I can go up to the... Where's the event?
To your right.
Okay.
I'm gonna go grab the peach. Oh yeah, that's not bad. Is the poison beam rotating an upgrade, or is it how it works now instead of going right in front of you? It's how it works now. I think a lot of people are complaining about the poison beam being frontal is just awkward and not that practical. I like it. I think the rotating beam makes way more sense. Okay, I'm almost there.
Yeah, it's a long track.
Yeah, I don't know why this one's so far away.
Yeah, this is a control zone.
Alright, coming. I'll have my ult up. Looks like yours is up too.
Mm-hmm.
Money, where the heck? Okay. This really is far away.
And the problem is the longer I linger here, the more creatures there's going to be.
I'm here. Yeah, none of us have any of those cool ults that really keep enemies off of us.
Mm-hmm.
I do like this guy's egg. Oh no.
Oh my, what are all those?
Oh gosh.
Oh, it's all those snails.
Well, that hurt. Still worth it, but it did hurt. Ooh. I got my final evolution.
Oh, you did?
Oh, why does he walk on his 2 legs? That's weird.
Oh, that's what he looks like.
Yep. I like the tail going on though. Oh, it's supposed to look like that one rock.
Malachite?
Yeah, it's supposed to look like malachite. I guess it makes sense. It's a big crystally dude. Mandatory quadruped into biped evolution. I mean, at least, like, it didn't turn him full human shape.
Oh, Shiara is up.
Okay. I'd like to get one of my evolutions. I don't know if I'm gonna pull it off. Or I did. I did for Glass Blade. It doesn't seem like it's swinging as much as I want it to. Oh well. How you doing down there?
I'm okay.
Seems like you're defeating the boss.
Yeah, actually I'm surprised. I mean, I have just all of these crystals flying everywhere at the moment.
I like the crystal moveset so far. Unfortunately, I was given a lot of poison moves that I'm not as keen on, so I was kind of bleh on that. I'll have to
Really?
give them
You're
another
given
shot.
poison? Huh.
Yeah, yeah. This guy's like secondary type set seems to be poison in this, which I'm really hoping they have A and B versions so you can actually change whatever your secondary type is. Because that would be really cool if you could have like, you know, poison fire instead, depending on who you're playing as. Screen shrank. I think when I get bigger, it zoomed out a little.
Yeah, at this point I think I have 3 synergies active.
Yeah, I've only got 1. But yeah, the synergies are very powerful. It's part of the reason why we were having so much trouble earlier.
Because we were playing the same creature. Oh, ow.
No, not as much. We didn't have any of those synergies unlocked.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
Wow. That was
That's really
even.
close.
Look at our damage. Near tide. Okay, pool technique, toxic waste, and a hell of a lot of money. Oh, equip 3 toxic techniques. I guess I did in the end. Let's see. 25 with crystal, so I just get a boatload of money. So I don't have to play crystal again if you want to play crystal.
Oh.
Or we could just both be crystal, I don't know.
Well, there's also... Did you have enough to upgrade Pigapec or anyone else new?
Yeah, I could play pick a peck. Yeah,
Okay.
I've been very uneven with how I've been investing my Pansuns. Let's see, number of gears that can be equipped. Sure, I'll get another level on that. Okay. So I did max that out. Oh, wait, no, that's fire rate. Is some Temtem get an extra projectile by default? Okay, good. I do have that. So what is this game and are you having fun? So this is Temtem Swarm, and I mean, I'm having fun. I'm contractually obligated to say I'm having.
Hey, no,
No, I shouldn't say that.
you're not.
I know. No, I don't know. I love bullet heaven games. Anything kind of branched off of Vampire Survivors, I'm usually hooked on, as long as there's like a
Well, and also this is awfully cute, and we played the original Temtem a long time ago. Not thoroughly, but
yeah, we never finished it. We got like part way through.
okay. No, I'm playing Crystal.
I'm a pig. But I mean, I think we've always been suckers for monster collection games. It's one big part of it is the moment you have collectible creatures, we're both hooked.
Now you get to play as them.
Yep. I wish there were more games where you were just a monster in the world doing something. You know, keep a lot of the monster collection mechanics, but it's just like, hey, I am a creature trying to survive here. I still want to play a survival sandbox game where you are
I imagine
a monster.
if you had something akin to Spore where you're designing your avatar as you're playing the game.
Yeah.
Just adding new traits and new abilities so you can really customize them. Oh, it's giving me a lot of poison.
Yep. And like you do actually benefit for maxing those out. Just to keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, there's the mystery dungeon games. Ooh. Yeah, now that you bring that up, it would actually be kind of interesting to have Temtem also mess around with like mystery dungeon games. Let's see, scratch the nearest enemy. No, Kismet Lens. Boomerang. You know, I've never maxed Fierce Claw. Maybe I should. Okay, punch our way through these. Keyfield. I don't actually know if Keyfield is good. Hopefully they gave it a bit of a boost. Okay, we've got a location to the right.
Okay.
Looks like Keyfield got better.
There we go.
There we go. You know, the other one I'd actually love to see Crema tackle would actually be like a tactical strategy game. Because I think that came up kind of in conversation yesterday, but like grid-based. Because I could actually see a lot of these work quite well. Ooh. I don't need the bonus experience. It's not actually... It's weird. Whenever I play these games, anytime you're given the opportunity for bonus experience, there's always the question of, is it worth it or not? Because... You know, it's like, oh, that gives me 5% bonus experience. I'll level up faster. But the amount of levels that it eats up is equal to the amount of extra levels you gain. So it ends up kind of being this, like, weird net neutral, or even less than that. You sure do have a lot of mushrooms falling around.
Yeah.
Ow. Ow.
Oh, there's another duo event.
Yep. This one's close.
Ooh, evolution.
I was gonna say already, but the answer is, oh yeah, it's because Piggyback doesn't have one. Mm-hmm. Something I was kind of surprised by. Feels like, it feels like it'd be a good shoe-in, but what would you even do? Just give it bigger wings?
Yep. A more angelic appearance.
Ow.
Do you think we're even going to be able to fulfill this?
Maybe not yet.
No, not yet.
I think I'm maybe a little bit too weak right now.
Well, I was curious as to why you chose Cypard.
Because I don't want us to just play the easy stages. Mm-hmm. And also this gets us more... This gets us more...
Experience or something.
So I might not survive.
Oh.
I need that cherry.
Oh, I also was getting cherries.
I know. You ate all of the cherries. I was running for a cherry. You got the cherry. I went for another cherry. You got the cherry.
Okay, well, here. I'll hold
That's
some
okay.
of these guys off.
Piggyback does have good regen.
Yeah, there are definitely things that are dying and then leaving behind detritus.
Ow. Oh, it's a poison. That's what's getting me.
Maybe it's coming from the mushrooms?
Yeah, it probably is. At least I've got a decent chunk of regen that I can kind of rely on to get my health back up. Problem is, a lot of my attacks are very heavily based around
I don't
letting
see any
enemies get
synergies
close to
between
me.
these two yet.
Between yours and mine? Almost none.
Ah.
Possibly none. There's like a couple of the really generic passives, but I don't think there's any crossover benefits. This is a Pan-Sun feast. What did I do this? I mean, we can use the money. And like, nice part is Piggypack gets crazy regen as it levels, because that's its scaling perk.
Okay.
So, actually, wow, I am healing really fast.
Oh, there's a boss creature. Mini boss.
All right. We'll see about doing some damage to it. I'm doing a decent amount. That's not bad, actually. Another location. Oh boy. Yeah, the problem is we need to complete those location events to get the power that we need to complete the other location events. Where is he?
He's off to the right.
Why did he go down
Oh, now
there?
he's down? Huh.
Okay, got him. Nice part is I do a lot of damage when I'm near things.
Whoa, look at all these hydras.
Yup.
I'm gonna need to go get some cherries.
Yeah,
and-
you can go eat the cherries. You don't need to reserve them for me.
If there are any, I might
don't
have
think
to
there
break
currently
open some
are.
new boxes. If I can find any. Oh, I'm at the end of the world. That's not a good thing.
Ow. Yeah, I do not do nearly enough damage. It is a problem.
Yeah, I just don't think these two have the synergies that we
Nope.
need for doing a higher level regen.
I think we'll be fine once we get those, once we get our moves up, but it's tough. Oh, you are looking very bad
Yeah,
there.
I'm actually dead.
Oh,
I couldn't get that cherry.
that's not great.
Yeah,
I don't think I really have much of a solution. I think the key aura is really
we
bad.
failed, defeated.
We've been defeated. I'm up for trying that again without changing too much. Oof.
I just don't
Oh, I did actually get some things.
got toxic waste.
What was that from? Oh, damage with key fields. Fierce damage with fierce claw. I don't think I picked it. Damage with neutral type techniques.
I don't know. Maybe I want to play Platy Pet.
All right. I'll probably stick with. Oh, pick it back. Oh yeah, go figure. I wasn't doing that well. I haven't actually invested. I haven't boosted any of its damage stats. Go figure. I forgot this thing has like huge crit bonuses. Damage and melee techniques or wind type. Huh. Yeah, I'll stick with Pick It Back for a while. I know Pick It Back gets really good. I mean, I think most of them do. Back to Psy Park. I believe in us.
Oh, you want to go back?
Yeah. I don't actually know if Psy Park's really that much better or worse. On the topic of the big turtle, I think he's okay because he's still hunched forward and not too humanoid. Yeah, I think it's different when it's like they go full humanoid proportions. Like I'm cool with that in say Digimon or something where it's like, oh,
Well, it's
you know,
peculiar in Digimon when they actually look like humans with armor on. That's you go what?
I mean, but like Angemon, for example. Okay, you know, I can work with that.
Wait, really?
What? What's up?
No, just you think it's okay for Patamon to turn into Angemon?
I mean, it would have been cool if there was like a more Patamon-y Patamon line, but like
It's almost like the I just okay.
In isolation, Angemon is a fine character, and his remaining evolutions are fine. I think Angewomon then immediately turning back into kind of like a weird fluffy Chinese dragon looking thing. That was a little weird. I think it had a couple of those.
Yeah, they usually tend to trend more humanoid as time goes on.
And that one just loops back around to fluffy cute snake. And that was But I don't know. Yeah, I think the main problem with Patamon is like, what could you do to... Well, I don't know. Maybe we should do some drawing games at some point and actually just theorize what would have a non-Angemon Patamon evolution look like. Decreases enemy speed by 10%. What?
Yeah, there are some things like that.
No, I have a passive that does it. Huh. That's a new one. As a kid, I was always slightly obsessed with the Digimon that would become like half cyborg, but I think most of that was just Metal Greymon was cool as hell. Including his like weird chest missiles. Okay. I already have protein bar. I got that. I guess I should work on Boomerang. I don't remember what my synergies are. Movement speed and Kismet. Alright. We got an event. Please be the summoning circle.
There's two.
Is there? Oh, there is one down in the south.
I'll go up to the one where you are.
Okay. And Sun Feast. I'm gonna head for the other one. I'm kind of fine leaving Pan-Sun Feast locations till the very, very end. Because right now it just doesn't help us. We don't want the money. Like, the money is nice, but we get that just passively by playing the game. Oh, those are your big poison things, aren't
yes.
they?
Yep.
Okay, I keep avoiding them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a new skill.
Ow.
Summoning circle.
Yeah, that's the one. Wait until they spawn, and then hit your tidal wave.
Yeah. Like that one.
That's the good stuff. Okay. Please give me one of my evolutions. Or not evolutions, one of my synergistic passives. Oh, there's a duo event.
Yep. And I'm evolving.
Might want to wait until you have your tidal wave.
Yeah, okay.
Because as soon as you have your tidal wave, then it's fine. It's just up until that point, it could get a bit spicy. Really? Oozing Scent is not the key field synergy. Weird. Oh, you picked up a synergy item for me. Awesome.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, the movement speed one.
What does it boost for you, though? Oh, so I do have my wave.
I think it's my boomerang. Okay. And you can hit your tidal wave like immediately. Yeah. Yeah, as long as
How
you
much
don't
longer?
leave. It says
good?
in the bottom left, by the way. If you're ever wondering.
Okay.
Another location to the bottom left.
All right.
I'm not sure how much we care until you have your ult.
Oh, it's another control zone.
Yeah. So probably best to just hang out and then...
Yeah, I'll charge up.
Okay. And we should probably take him out before we need to worry.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. Not that he's too strong. He's reasonably easy to fight. Aha, your charge is meaningless in favor of me being invulnerable. Or against me being invulnerable.
A lot of hydro turbines.
Okay. Let's see. Hey, Wonder in chat, since when are you back on streaming on Twitch? You know, I've been meaning to do this for a while. Here, Shell, you want to trigger this?
Sure. You can begin the control
'Cause
zone.
there's not even a whole lot of enemies nearby. Wait until they maybe get a little closer.
Yep.
Or maybe they won't.
Your wind is
Alright.
actually having a lot of pushback.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pick-a-Pick's, like, whole deal is knockback. And regen. So yeah, I guess trigger your ult whenever you feel like it.
Sure.
But yeah, so I've been meaning to do this ever since Twitch said, like, hey, you can stream on both. I don't know, just didn't get around to it for a while. I don't want to say it was a low priority. It was just one of those where it's like, Twitch streaming was, like, actually kind of bad for me for a while. Not you guys or anything, it was just the act of streaming and keeping numbers up and whatnot. Like, inevitably you become obsessed with numbers in this business, and I just needed some time away. And also, YouTube switched me, YouTube's been moving towards a one-off format for a while, and so it was kind of one of those where it was easier for me to just not stream and really just take my time and get my mental health back.
But then it meant we were just doing a string of games without
Yeah.
ever playing them.
Yeah, it resulted in kind of almost the reverse of what I wanted, which was never sticking to anything, just playing things for a little bit and then moving on, and that was not great either. And I don't know, trying to figure out like the balance for this kind of thing is tough. But yeah, so yesterday was kind of the soft launch, and then realistically, I should probably do some kind of announcement video of like, hey, I'm streaming on both, please watch. But then also the VODs just go up on YouTube or stay up on YouTube. So if you do want to watch, you know, whatever's happened, whatever you've missed, Hand Sun Feast.
Oh, down below?
Yeah, I mean, we might as well do it at this point. Hey, and thank you, a guy called Samuel, for the resub. And I have the notifications up, but thank you for it. So which platform is better for you? Should I stay on YouTube or Twitch? So from like a live perspective, both are fine. It's really the big issue with Twitch, and part of the reason why I didn't want to go back is Twitch VODs are absolutely abysmal for me. I do not benefit from them in the slightest, and I was getting a lot of people just watching my VODs instead of my videos on YouTube, and that was...
Well, part of it was you would have
problematic.
an entire 6-hour video on Twitch, and that would become 6 separate
videos
on
6 to
YouTube.
12 videos on YouTube, and so people would actually be like, oh, you know, when's the next episode? And somebody would be like, no, just go watch the VOD on Twitch. And I'd be like, no, don't do that. And like, I didn't want to lock it off because but now that I'm streaming on both, I can just leave the YouTube VOD up because I get ad rev from that one. But then, like, otherwise, as far as views and numbers, does not matter to me. Technically, the more views I get on YouTube, the better. Just because that helps the inevitable
open
VOD
up
video.
this
Yeah, we
barrel?
can do it. Let's just take out that rat. There we go.
There we
Wow,
go.
that was quick. But yeah, technically, the more viewers I get on YouTube, the better, just because that actually does help me much more long term. But I have both chats up. I respond to both. Both are perfectly fine. And I think on a personal level, it's just... I think I'm a little bit more loyal to YouTube because it also has paid my bills for the last decade.
Huh. This key field actually gives you something.
Oh, really? Wait, what? Does it synergize off of the stank spray looking
Yeah,
stuff?
the stinky spray.
Huh. Because I saw a key field pop up earlier, and it didn't say it was a synergy.
Well, it's showing it for you. Also,
Weird.
spider. Spider mini boss.
I tried watching YouTube streams. It was just not for me. I'd rather have the videos on YouTube and streams on Twitch. Yeah, and that's entirely valid. And that's part of the reason why, like, yeah, I will be going back to this. And, like, if there is such a huge preference, maybe I'll crystallize around one. But I think I'm just going to leave it as both for a while, because that just makes my life easy.
All right, so I have that. I don't know if I should save my ultimate for something
You know,
down
at
the
this
line.
point, we're strong enough. I have a synergy that's pretty good, and you have at least one.
I have one synergy.
Let's see. When are you planning on playing Sears Gambit? Yes. I plan on playing everything. The main issue is just time. This week I'd been just juggling 4 different games that I was interested in. Let's go do the duo, seeing as your ult is up.
Yep.
And, like, some weeks are dry as heck. There's almost no releases. And some weeks I'm just, like, buried in every single game that I was really looking forward to all year. And that is weird to balance around.
All right, we have these boxes.
And there's a nice magnet. Yeah, it's not showing me the synergy with Keyfield for whatever reason. Maybe I have to pick it up? I don't
Alright,
know.
that extends around. It shows your little face next to it.
Yeah, that's odd. No idea.
So are you saying I shouldn't be selecting them anymore because you
No,
haven't
no,
been
no.
able to access it?
Absolutely pick them. It's not your fault. You don't have any control over it. Maybe it's just one of those that I have to max out Keyfield first?
I think so. Usually you don't get the synergy until you...
Oh, yeah, so what I've probably done is I've unlocked the passive, but I haven't actually got the... unlocked the synergy. That makes sense. But you've unlocked the synergy before.
Oh, here we go. Now I have my synergy key fields. Or unless it's I'm boosting mine off of you.
Yeah, because I have the passive, you were boosting yours off of it.
Yeah, so now this is what the synergy key field looks like.
It was big. That makes sense. Yeah, so I
Oh,
guess...
we do have something off to the left.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
it's
we do.
another nest.
Coming. We are close. Okay.
Is it gonna open?
I think we broke it.
It's broken. Oh no.
Well, we have another one down south immediately, so...
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Well, it disappeared.
Yeah, I think it disappeared. Okay. Yeah, there was the timer, but I guess it just auto-failed for some reason. Not that big of a deal.
I'm gonna actually need some healing.
Yeah.
Oh, resistance badge. That's for neutral though.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah, we definitely have some kind of desync again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I'm not leveling up anymore.
Oh no.
And I was also able to trigger... Oh, wait, no, there it is. That just took a while? There's a cherry down south. But yeah, we have some kind of desync going on.
Okay.
Luckily, we only have 1 minute left, and then we can finish this.
Well, the boss would have to emerge, right?
Yeah, so... Boss will emerge, we'll beat the boss, and then we can reset the run. The janky netcode. True enemy multiplayer. Yeah. It's fine. It's not like it's going to hold this run back. Both Shell and I think, are pretty powerful now.
Mm-hmm.
And so we shouldn't be having too many issues. But it is a shame to lose out on 2 chests, as those chests are how we get
A lot of upgrades.
a lot of upgrades, because the level cap is so low on this game normally. Let's see. Let's see. Wander, do you accept requests for trying out new games? I get emails for that all the time. The real answer is always just like, it really depends on if it fits my preferences or not. I can never promise anything, especially while live. Oh, I should have picked up Kismet Lens.
What was going on?
Oh, Kismet Lens would have got me my synergy, but I don't need it that bad.
This is a summoning circle.
Yeah, trigger it.
Uh-oh.
Let's go Garunder again. It's okay. I'm near him, so he'll just come after me. Yeah, the unfortunate thing about like me and covering games is just there are more games than I can humanly cover in a single day, week or year, and so like I can never promise what I'm gonna cover or not. And also like the more games come out, the higher my standards get. So if you make a really good game, then yeah, I probably will cover it. But also, like, the definition of, like, what is a good game is even kind of subjective. Okay, something in here.
Are you gonna help fight?
Nope.
Why?
I'm distractible. There's an event over here. I'm gonna trigger it, and then I'll come help. I'll admit I'm trying to delay taking him out a little bit, so that I can get the one more level on my key field.
It's interesting how I picked up so much. There we go.
Because yeah, if I can get one more level on key, one more level on key field, then I unlock the synergy, and I don't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
One long, there it is. A long Pansun Festival. But it is good money. Alright, now I'm coming your direction. Yeah, it just took a bit. The Wonder needs shadow clones. And the thing is, like, I exist partly, yes, as a marketing tool for developers, but then also kind of a filter tool for people watching my videos and streams and whatnot. Of like, hey, these are the best games that came out this year. Or, you know, games that specifically have appealed to me in some way, shape, or form. Because presumably a lot of you want to find new games, but I got to imagine it's mostly relying on word-of-mouth creators and maybe certain things popping up in storefronts or like social media that are like, oh yeah, that's a game worth picking up. And so it's kind of one of those where like, I'm almost kind of playing telephone between the developers who send me cool things and the people who want to find those cool things. And so, shadow clones would be nice to cover every game, but that would actively make my... I don't want to say make my job worse. It would actually like undervalue my coverage if I was less selective. Or was able to cover more, because then it would feel like I'm not as much of a filter. It's part of the reason why I stay away from a lot of like games media sites, is just because it's too much and isn't particularly practical, with the exception of a handful. There are some that are much better about like, hey, these are the ones that you really want to keep an eye out for. But I end up usually actually following the individual games journalists for
I
that.
just got a ton of damage.
Oh.
Was it poison?
Are you still alive? It was his big damage field.
No, it wasn't the damage field. Right. Thanks for picking me up. Hopefully I survive.
And he's almost cooked. Yep, he did. We're good.
Alright.
Yeah, Keyfield. Well, I guess I did get Keyfield kind of late.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Windblade is just so much better. I don't think I found the synergy for that one, but that's okay. Keyfield Plus, there we go. Okay, can I actually see what is in their pool? No. I was really hoping I could actually check that. Well,
Anything else you wanted to try in particular?
I don't know. I guess the problem is I'd have to go look at the Kudos map, but that would require you rejoining my lobby. I could play
Okay,
as
you don't
somebody
need to then.
new, but I don't have that much. Otherwise, I could play as like Smozzy again because I haven't played Smozzy in a while.
Okay, sure. Who should I pair that with?
Smozzy uses physical and earth.
Do you think that would have any synergies
Who
with
has physical?
Crystal?
No. I mean, we could just do double Crystal again.
I don't know about that.
Why not?
What about Ori? That's
Ori
fire
is
data.
fire and digital. I don't think there's anybody else that has fire as a secondary.
Really?
Or digital.
Smozzy didn't use fire at all?
No. No, despite the coloration, Smozzy is a physical fighter. He uses earth moves more than anything else.
Well, it looks like Pigapack uses earth.
Pigapack does use a little bit of earth. What? Would you want to do Pigapack while I
I'd
do
have to devote
Pigapick?
a lot of...
Big Epic? I mean, we also don't have to do a cross synergy.
I only have 6,000 pansons to spend on
Yeah.
Pigapack.
So, like, you don't have to.
I think I could.
Because what do I need to do? Use Wreck 100 times in total. Gotta unlock that one. I think I've actually unlocked most of this guy's set. Except for whatever this is. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, whatever. What do I invest into? Damage of Wreck? Sure. Let's see, reroll.
Yeah, I've literally used up all my...
Yeah, don't
That's only 6%.
Don't-
So- no.
don't bother. Why don't you pick your best? Why don't we go to the hard stage? I want to go back to
that'd be
Tugma.
inky.
Yeah.
Fun.
Wait, this game has cross synergies? Yes. So when Shell picks up a passive, if she picks up a passive that is associated with one of the techniques that I have, like her passives will let my actives evolve and vice versa. Only one person can get a passive per round, but everybody can get the same actives. So you could actually like double up and do some fun things with that.
But yeah, I like how there's interplay with that.
It's a nice system. It's a good way of handling co-op. Just because there's some consideration of like how much do you want to work together, and you don't have to. You know, your character will just get their own defaults, passives without needing. Ooh, yeah, I'll go for the regen. I don't know if this guy has a whole lot. But yeah, you don't have to do cross synergies with another player. It's just when it happens, it's kind of fun, and I like it. I don't know. It's a really clever way of adding a little bit of extra player interaction with almost no effort. I know it's something I would love to see other Bullet Heavens learn from, just because of how just immediately clever and genius it is. Armor greatly increased. Nah. Bosses and mini bosses. I assume the cross synergies are much easier if you have a third player, since I noticed there's room for a third in the lobby menu. Yeah. I saw people, I saw Ouija earlier talking about, like, why is there a fourth player? You know, why can't you do 4-player? I think the answer is just, like, after a certain point it becomes too much. I think the reason why 3 players kind of taken over is because it's easy to balance a co-op game around 2 or 3 players, but when you have the swing of 2 to 4,
Well, it is
it's a little
interesting.
tougher.
We've been playing a lot of board games lately. And we've noticed that in the past, when we were kids, it was pretty much almost always default that every game was 4 players. Maybe it's because of the shape of a game board, where, you know, 4 sides to a square, so 4
Yeah.
seats at the table, 4, you know, 4 playable.
And like most
Characters.
families just tended to be 4.
True. But it's one of those things where nowadays it's almost as though every game is 5.
Yeah, 5 or 6 even.
Well, 6.
Well, we've gotten a lot of expansions that boost a game up to 6. at the very least. I'm thinking like Mystic Veil, for example. I think boosts up to...
A lot of games, though,
5
you
or
would
s-
get an
I don't
expansion,
remember.
and it's like, this adds up to 6 players.
Yeah.
And you go, okay, that's you start with a 4-player game, but if you really want it, you can get up to 6. Sometimes it would just add 5, but now it almost seems like most games are base 5.
I don't know.
But 3, yeah, I have noticed a lot of games starting to do 3. Not so much board games, but
Yeah, I think it's very
but
much
video
a
games.
video game thing. I think it's just maybe people's friend circles are a bit smaller. I think also maybe from the perspective of the developers themselves, that might be the size of the social circle that they're used to getting together to play games. Like the older I get, the smaller my social circle is. Kind of. I mean, I'm hoping to expand it out a little bit more, but I really don't like the Pants on Feast because we
Oh,
don't
it
get
is.
experience.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. But so like it's much easier to get 3 friends to show up and play with you than
Or you mean
4.
2 friends.
Well, yeah. Sorry, a group of 3 people is much easier to organize around than a full group of 4. And yeah, 3 players is easier to balance, and it's easier to balance kind of once again, the differences between like 2-player and 3-player isn't that much, but 2 to 4-player, you're doubling their player count, and that's a lot tougher. And so you really have to find that sweet spot balance swing, which I want to say is like an issue with Monster Hunter, that very much there are specific like is it Monster Hunter? I don't know. I'm trying to think of which game it is. It's like Monster Hunter or Dark Souls or something, but there's kind of sweet spots for how many players you have in terms of like how much the monsters scale. Yeah, Stardew Valley is up to 8 now, which is good. Stuff like Stardew Valley you don't need to balance, because it's not a hard game, and the more people you throw at it, it doesn't really change too much. You just get to clear the mine a little bit faster. Which, I mean, I would be over the moon to get a group of 8 players together for a playthrough of Stardew Valley. I think that would be really funny.
Oof.
I should have waited just a second. There we go. My rocks are,
Your boulders.
they're so good. They're great at clearing things out and pushing things away. Not as good as the tidal wave, but like, as far as alts go, I think Smozzie's is the second best, just in terms of its damage and utility. Let's see, will we be playing more of this after this stream? Like, just on my own? So our coverage plan for Temtem
I would
Swarm is...
definitely like to when new characters are released.
Yeah, so our coverage plan is probably not to play too much more than this. The only thing we really have to do at this point is, like, a handful of achievements and then maxing out every single creature, which I could still do if people, you know, really want me to come back and play more. But I think on a personal level, this is early enough and still in development enough that I'd rather mostly just come back whenever new stuff is specifically added. So like, hey, they've added 1 to 2 new Temtem. Okay, cool. That's our time to come back and play some more. And, you know, max them out, play, you know,
Whoa,
do a
this
stream
is
or 2.
quite the AoE. Did you see the
The ring of
creature?
projectiles? Oh yeah, I was hanging out right between the lines. Because I'm trying to punch this thing. I don't have very good ranged attacks. So I have to hang out right next to it to kill it. But I
Yep.
can kill it quickly.
There we go.
Wow. I don't think I've ever gotten, what is that, 6?
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a big chest. A dual event to the left. Part of the other reason why I want to play this level is, 1, it gives the most amount of pansons.
Have
2,
we ever seen the boss?
most amount of experience. It's the crocodile.
Again?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
because
this is his, like, native location.
I
you just
suppose the
visit
Sci
Sci
Park
Park.
is it's a randomizer.
Yep. All right, whenever you're ready.
Yeah,
I can push them off the point.
okay.
Ow. God damn it.
Did you end it?
I touched the edge.
You touched the
I
edge.
really wish that was a little bit more forgiving. Especially for, like, this character.
It'd be nice if maybe it was a
Get back
one
in, you have 2
character is
seconds.
inside
Yeah,
and
also
stays
that.
inside.
Well, there's a cherry and a peach for you. And we have another location, but we might want to leave it for a bit. At the very least, we're probably going to need synergies if we want to tackle too many of them. Yeah, the problem with this character is all of his attacks are so small. They're so close range. Okay. Oh, speed of projectiles. That helps.
What about projectiles?
Oh, I got a passive that increases the speed of the projectiles, which means he punches further.
So this is a control zone.
Okay. I can come and do it.
I need to get this peach, wherever it is. Unless it's all the way at the other end of the map. Oh,
I
there,
go
there
get
it is.
There's no rush. And you'll have your ult ready for this one, even if I don't.
Yep, I will.
Yeah, personally, I wish if you stepped out of the circle, it would just start counting back up again, maybe a little bit faster. So it's like, you know, from... It just counts back up to 20 and you just...
Are we okay?
Yep, I think so.
How much more time? 2
2
seconds? Okay.
Don't stand in the
The
red.
reds.
Okay,
Ah!
we're good.
There we go. I got a synergy.
That's good. Yeah, once we get a couple of synergies going, you have a chest back here, by the way.
Yep. I'll grab it.
Yeah, once we have a couple of synergies, this gets much easier. At least one character inside doesn't count down unless everyone's in there for the second. Yeah, that would also work, so that it doesn't fail if somebody's in there, but you can't progress until both players are in. Just so, like, Smozzy can do a quick runner through a bunch of enemies. Because, yeah, the control zones are particularly anti-Smozzy ults. I guess I should level up Blockade, shouldn't I? I don't have space for it. Maybe next run.
I'm trying to find more food.
Oh, the reason why I'm hale and hearty is because I got the regen passive. I was wondering about that. It's like, why are you taking so much more? I'm the melee character. But no, that makes sense. The accidental dashes are also killer. Yup. Okay, martial strike, no.
I'm starting to boost my more defensive skills. I have this... Apparently there's a synergy with the lunchbox and quartz shield.
Oh,
So that'll be something to look forward to.
got a control zone here whenever you're ready. Oh,
Yep.
we should take out the
Oh,
Psycho
there's the boss
Mantis.
down below. It's kind of like a mantis. Yeah, it's the
Yep.
crystal mantis.
It's cool. Ooh, that was hard to spot.
Yeah, because the red on red.
Yeah, red on red. At least I do a boatload of damage to it if it's not actively trying to kill me. Because all of my hits just focus on it until it's done. Let's see. Wonder what's your opinion on gacha games? Oh boy. I don't like them. I do not like gacha in the slightest. I think I played like a little bit of the most popular one, and I didn't enjoy it that much.
There, I got the quartz shield plus.
Does it do damage, or is it just like even tougher?
I might have regen and other things.
that
I'll
could
have
be
to
good.
see.
All right, we should do this event. The only gacha game that I've played that I can think of really is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And it was my least favorite part of that game by far. Because it was just like, oh, you've got a new core, open it up, see if you get a meaningful creature. It's a weird anime woman who's like obsessed with push-ups for some reason. It's like, did not appeal. And maybe that just kind of poisoned the well for me.
Yeah, so we're always tempted when we go out shopping at various game stores and such. There are those little... Ooh, I can upgrade that. There's, you know, little gacha figurines for various series.
Yeah, the blind boxes.
And you go,
location up to the north.
You know, you look at them and you say, well, I would like this one, and this one. But there's, you know, maybe there's
two
one
or
or
three
two
in
or
this
three
that I
that
do
you
not
just
want.
aren't interested in. And you go, well, I have a 50% chance of getting one that I like. I have a...
Come in?
Yeah. Oh, to the left?
Yeah. Top
Okay.
left.
And so you're doing the math in your head and you're going, so I'm paying $20 to get something that I potentially don't want. And you have a, you know, 50 or 30 or whatever % chance of getting exactly the one that you want.
To me, Shell, to me.
What?
To me.
I am, aren't I? Where are you?
Up north.
Oh, I was following a different...
You were heading to
symbol.
the peach.
Okay, fine.
Are we that estranged that I am akin to a peach for you?
You do. You are orange.
But yeah, so with gacha games, it's kind of one of those where it's like, it is legitimately really tough to want to spend that money on something that we might not want. And also gacha games specifically are, I'm going to say, the worst of the live service games in terms of their like core design philosophy. Even if they're very generous and give you a lot of currency for free, they're games that are actively designed to keep you there for as long as possible. And I think entirely on a personal level, that gets really exhausting. I really like games that respect my time. So I was playing a factory automation game recently, and I was having a really good time with it. I got to a new tier, and it's just like, here's a whole new tech tree that effectively means you have to rip apart your whole factory and redo it with this like new setup. And I'm just like, nope.
Do you want to go down to the double?
Yeah, we can go. There's no double, but there's
It's
a single.
down to the left.
That's a peach.
No, there's another. It's much further.
Huh, I don't see it.
I see it.
All right, we'll see what happens.
It must be all the way at the other end because there's a symbol there.
It could also just be
Oh,
netcode.
control zone. Wait. Where?
Like where for the control zone or where for the...
It's almost... It says 15 seconds.
Yes. So I think that might be from some like weird leftover thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because the time isn't going down and I haven't stepped on anything. Alright. I'll come back your way.
Yeah, so I guess is kind of part of all of this. It's just difficult for me to get into gacha games. I don't necessarily fault for people for enjoying them, especially the most popular ones, but I don't think I ever will be able to. Part of it is because I'm also just like not a single game kind of person. I mainlined, you know, World of Warcraft for years just because it was literally the only thing I could play.
Oh, there he is.
I'm going to ignore him for a little bit just so I can get my final evolution.
Oh, okay.
But nowadays, I'm like just so absolutely spam blasted with cool games all the time that like any kind of live service game just feels exhausting to me. Like every once in a while, I'll get like really into like Guild Wars is like the only MMO that I will play. But even then, not really. Yeah, I'd rather be putting time into games like this.
We're at the point in Guild Wars where we want to finish the story and then maybe, complete our characters, get them up looking in exactly how we'd want them to look with nice skins and such, but then, And that's the thing. I wonder with this game, what are the things that you can add to... I mean, I do wonder, would there be instances of unlocking new skins or colors?
I hope they add shinies. And, like, some possibly onerous way of getting them just because.
And I think we had already asked about this, and they said that, did they intend to have a secondary
I think
ult
they did.
ability? Okay.
Somebody was talking about it the last stream, at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good mix. Did I unlock anything? Hidouchi. Hey. Must not have maxed that out. So what else do we... What other kudos do I have that I haven't done yet? 20,000 damage with key field plus. Fully upgrade the gear turbo boots. I haven't upgraded that one before. Huh. Fierce Claw to level 5. Toxic Ink to level 5. Crystal's ultimate 15 times in a match. 20,000 damage with Tort Knight's Garden. Win a match without evolving Hoochik.
Oh.
Guess I should work on that one. Win a match without evolving Platypet. Well, you want to do some really easy ones where we just play as Hoochik and Platypet and don't evolve
Well,
anything?
I was trying to
Auhi.
get Pick up.
Oh, yeah, if you want to do Pick-a-Peck, I think we'll just throw ourselves on the first zone and... first zone and just don't evolve. Okay. Yeah, speaking of getting something up, I have not done anything for my Platypet, which is probably not great.
That's because I've been playing Platypet a lot and you're playing all the other characters.
Yep.
Divine Inspiration knockback. Huh.
Let's see. Seeing as it was asked, yeah, my partner's name is Shell,
Yeah.
and she is not streaming.
Yeah, I'm not streaming separately.
We could set it up so we have like a duo like visual setup so you could actually see what she's doing. I've done that in the past. It is a pain. So I usually don't bother.
If we tried sticking together more, maybe that would be beneficial.
I don't think it matters that much. I wonder what's your schedule for games. We're just going to be playing this today. Or do you mean like on a weekly basis? Because the answer is I don't have one. One of the big issues is I am very much, I don't want to say ruled. A lot of my schedule is somewhat determined based on sponsorships nowadays. Just because I have to make...
Well, and new game releases.
Yeah, sponsorships and new game releases, but like I have to make sure I have enough time to fit in sponsorships and, you know, I don't... leave them until last minute, or you know they'll want X day at Y time or something like that, and so I have to make sure I'm catering to that. Not ooh.
Huh, there's a petrify move.
Do you want both of these? I guess I'm just gonna go for poison. Yeah, it's like a ground slam that slows and stops things in that area. It's not bad, especially if you go for a bunch of AoE size. Let's see. Here that spreads and blocks damage. What does spreads do? I have no idea.
Oh, so Pick-a-Pack's ultimate was just a protection field, right?
Yeah, it makes you invulnerable and gives you some regen. So it's a very good way to not die and then also not die. Let's see. Loading screens are actually helpful. I had no idea you get bonus experience for delaying evolution. Huh. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense, though. So that's got to be the balance for the ones that don't evolve, is they probably do get an extra level or two as well. That's actually quite useful. Let's see, what was I going to say? But yeah, so scheduling wise, like I keep wanting to have a much more rigorous schedule, but like today we got up and we were going to kind of try and fit this in, and then it was just like, but also got to talk about the status of the world and
Ooh,
like
what
what
are
our
these
business
critters?
plans are and whatnot. And then also like yesterday we got a request to go. I don't need holster. Let's see, water blade, pierce. Pierce doesn't do anything for me. Fierce claw. Am I just going to be really tacky here? Sure, let's do it.
Oh, what are all of these? Okay.
Go for a little bit of experience gain. Who knows? Status not good. Yeah. And I mean that's a conversation for another time, but like as creators, it's always kind of difficult trying to figure out like where is our place in this. Because I don't want to just be the marketing guy for indie games, just because after a certain point I do feel like I kind of lose my own personal identity in that.
Well, the thing is, Wander and I met in college in illustration, actually.
Yes.
Because we were wanting to be illustrators and artists for things like movies and video games and whatnot.
Event, if and when you're ready.
All right.
And then destroy it. There we
And
go.
so what happened was, graduating from school, I felt like we had to work a lot outside of
Yeah,
class in
our
order to make
college
our
classes were kind of
portfolios.
worthless
Well,
for a lot
so
of these things.
It was one of those things where it took me a couple of years of additional practice to eventually get to the level where we were having people saying, wow, like I could see your art on magic cards or, you know, in games and such. And it's like, okay, cool. You know, I'm at that level where that can be the case. But in the interim, you know, applying to jobs was,
Grueling.
well, it was disappointing because you never get any callbacks. I think you at least got some art tests and such for
Yeah,
more cartoony games like
yeah,
the...
Brawlhalla had me do like a full-on art test, multiple rounds of interviews, and then just ghosted me. So I've actually been a little... I don't want to say exactly resentful, but like anytime
I
anybody
don't
was
think
like...
you've covered any of their games.
No, I
let's
have
just
not.
put it that way.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where, as an alternative, that's how Wander got to YouTubing.
Well, sort of. Yeah, so I was trying to get jobs in the industry and I just couldn't. And so as part of it, I was just feeling kind of like dour and lonely. So I'm like, all right, screw it. I'm just going to make a YouTube channel to kind of take my mind off of things. And then whoopsie doopsie, that's, it's paying my bills now. Cool.
And so one reason why Wander in particular, and like why we in general like to cover indie games, is because they are made by small teams of artists, and you know, they hopefully don't suffer the same issues that AAA or AA does, where you just have them being studios being acquired and laying off all their workers. And it's especially perilous for artists now because our work is being taken and utilized by tech companies for things like AI and stuff. And as of yet, there's no recourse for that. So
It's always kind of a question of like, how much of ourselves do we put out there, especially when, yeah, you have companies just saying like, we can use your stuff for whatever we want, but you can't complain about it because that's abusive. It's like, hold up. Ow, that hurt. What? Okay, there we go.
yeah, and it feels like I've shut down or deleted half of all the social media accounts I've ever made because,
Let's do that event, by the way.
yeah, it just seems as though every time I started to establish myself on a new platform, people are like, oh, you know, your art gallery is mine for the taking.
Yep.
Whether it be for AI or NFTs or who knows what else, what grift they're going on to next. And so it's just like, why?
Why become fuel for a company that's just going to destroy you the first chance it gets?
At the same time, though, there is that drive to make something new and creative for yourself.
Yep. And so, like, my goal, short and long term, is probably just to get back into tabletop RPGs. It's been years since our last, like, real campaign. And so I want to do more of that, but it's just a matter of, like, oh boy, it actually takes a while to make good, professional-grade tabletop RPG campaigns for consumption on YouTube or Twitch or whatnot. Or both.
But yeah,
Okay.
ultimately it's just, I don't know. You're getting into,
Life stuff.
well,
I mean,
just the kind of turmoil we're dealing with. I suppose it's everyone's just asking questions now about.
yeah. And this is kind of what bullet heavens are good at. It's like, it'd be nice to stay focused on this game, but we've put 10 hours in and we've functionally completed almost everything there is to complete. So now it's mostly just like the edge case achievements and some other small stuff. Let's see. What system will you use though? Probably more Monster of the Week. Because we did a couple of sessions of Monster of the Week last year. I literally have one episode that I've been slowly editing and creating the assets for that we already recorded.
Yeah, it's a little bit less organic than back when we were doing D&D and such, because you would create the art assets before and we would use them while we were playing.
Yeah.
But with Monster of the Week, you're having everything largely...
I'm effectively making a visual novel.
Yeah, essentially. So you're having everything be... what is the term again for it? The something of the mind?
Oh, theater
of the mind. And then you create the visuals afterwards.
Yep.
And unfortunately, that makes a funnel.
Yeah. And so, like, the first couple I actually sped through the visuals really fast, but this one I was just really stuck on. I don't know, I've been kind of depressed for the last year, so it was hard for me to even pick up a pen. It's not easy when you just have, you know, a bunch of people being like, I'm just going to use your art to make my machine, and it's just like, eh. And now it's a little bit more of just like, just try, everything's nightshaded anyway. Okay. Toxic field up. Got my synergy for Water Claw. There's a location up here, by the way, if you haven't noticed.
Okay. Oh, up top? All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have a synergy.
There we go. But, so, I guess the other thing is, like, systems-wise, I don't want to just do Monster of the Week, is the other answer. Ooh, toxic ink.
This one seems to be control.
Yep. So, just get on it, and then I'll hit Tidal Wave.
Yeah, nice.
There we go. That should give us plenty of time here. But yeah, so I wanna play around with a lot of systems. Like I can look to my right, and I think I have 20 different tabletop RPGs.
Oh yeah, you have a ton.
Lancer, Beacon, Sin, Hearts. Let's see, what else do I got? Scum and Villainy, Girl by Moonlight. What I want to do is like a series of one-shots and a bunch of them. And then eventually probably make my own tabletop RPG that uses my favorite mechanics from each. Or at least has the ability to use those mechanics or something like that. I'm not entirely sure yet.
Or something adjacent to them. I mean,
Yeah.
there are a number of fundamentals to tabletop RPGs, but...
You can play around a lot in this space. And so,
Oh, do I only have one thing of gear? Oops.
I mean, if you've maxed out all your abilities, it's
I
not
have
that
been
bad.
maxing out a number of abilities.
Let's see, art for your own tabletop RPG system, maybe? Oh, yeah. I mean, every asset that I draw can be reused. It's not like anybody has any, like, claim to it otherwise. It's like, how dare you use that illustration from, you know, from your...
I feel a little awkward if it was one of the characters we drew for one of our friends.
True. I think it also depends on the character and the friend.
Mm-hmm.
Ow. Whoa.
Ooh.
I think you can dash through that, but ow. I was not expecting him to hit so hard. I wonder what's your stance on dinosaurs? They don't exist. Anymore. I know cassowaries are cool. They're a dinosaur.
Yeah, definitely look like one.
I was never one of those kids that was like super obsessed with dinosaurs, though.
I definitely had my Jurassic Park phase and Land Before Time.
I watched a lot of Land Before Time, but like, I don't think I cared deeply about dinosaurs at the time. I care deeply about that movie, but separate things. What's your stance on robot dinosaurs? Now, those are cool. Anime, like, to continue to be slightly contrarian, animatronics are, like, sick as hell, and I'm honestly kind of sad whenever I see, like, the new Jurassic Park movies or whatnot.
Oh, just all the CGI?
Yeah, it's all CGI again, and it's just like, no, your animatronics were great. They honestly were, like, actively better.
I mean, granted, the original Jurassic Park did have some early CGI.
Well,
and that
because
was...
the T-Rex for the scene where it ate the guy, I think, was somewhat CGI.
No, that was...
They definitely had some part of a...
So when it was walking around, yes, that was CGI.
But I know when they were...
For all the close-ups and it roaring...
Yeah, that was actual animatronic.
And also munching down on the guy on the toilet. Well, no, maybe not all of that scene was.
Well, because that one, it switched to the perspective of, like, first person.
Yeah.
So I don't think you actually saw the T-Rex in that scene where the guy was getting munched. So I don't know on that one.
We'd have to watch Jurassic Park again.
Yeah. We tried rewatching Jurassic World, and... Well, no, we didn't rewatch Jurassic World. We watched the sequels. And they were so bad. One of them was, like, so bad it became almost passable again, but...
Nah.
It was definitely...
Well, and they were doing that thing that all of these sequel series do, where they bring back the old actors, and they're like, see?
Yeah, nostalgia, and you're just like, okay, cool. But Ghostbusters, like... Well, actually, that was it with Ghostbusters, is like, rewatching Ghostbusters, like, yeah, but Jurassic Park literally did the same thing.
We got the gang back together again.
Yeah, and it's just like, eh... T-Rex eating the guy was animatronic, eating a mannequin. Mannequin was a big mechanical too. Huh. But, yeah, the age-old, hey, remember this popular 80s, 90s movie? We're going to do some kind of, like, nostalgia, remember this, and I don't know, I find that very exhausting. It could be good, like, one or two times, but when, like, every single media franchise is doing it to try and revive all the old popular IPs, it just feels very canned. This is no reason to do a Pan-Sun Feast. Just skip that event.
Okay.
We do not go to this location for Pan-Suns, is the answer. I was confused, didn't know it was multi-streamed. Yeah, I started doing multi-streaming because, why not? It's about time, question mark. Also, thank you for the Prime sub, Hazelsaurus. Speaking of animatronic dinosaurs, what's a Hazelsaurus? Yeah, bank on nostalgia for cash grab. Ghostbusters, Jurassic Park, and World, and Beetlejuice. Oh yeah, they did have a new Beetlejuice. That... I literally heard no one talking about it, so yeah. I've got to imagine it was not a particularly authentic experience. But I also don't know.
They were doing the whole thing of, I mean, obviously they're bringing back Winona Ryder and Michael Keaton and whatnot as their characters. I think they even brought back, you know, the lady that was in Home Alone, that was Macaulay Culkin's mom? Yeah. She's actually the mom in that too. Huh. I suppose she was just the mom back in the late 80s and early 90s. Mom.
That is, I mean, there are worse things to get typecast as.
But
you could just be Liam Neeson, old dad.
Well, that's what his modern movies are. We've been watching a lot of kind of, I mean, there was Excalibur and other various.
Like, no matter what, it's just a pale imitation of
Krull
Schwarzenegger
and stuff. And Liam Neeson in those was just usually a bandit or a knight, almost invariably.
By the way, if you've got your ult, you can just hug the boss and hit it a bunch.
Yeah, I'll do that.
It's very effective. Take offense that they don't exist. I had to make the bit.
What bit?
Of dinosaurs don't exist. It's a... I knew a kid in high school that very much was like one of those young Earth theorists, and they were not cool in biology class. Wow, that was weak.
Oh, there's a Fierce Claw synergy.
Survivor's Burst. That's a
Petrify
new one.
Plus.
Win a match without evolving Platypet, of course. I should have checked what other options we have. Well, I have Hoochik, don't evolve it, so go in Hoochik next. Yeah, new Beetlejuice was awful. Fair enough. I don't want to say that I base a lot of my opinions on media based on how much people react to it, but if a movie comes and goes and I literally don't hear anyone say anything about it, good or bad, it must have been the dullest thing ever. So like, I am literally the only person I have heard talk about Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and I did not like it. I thought that was such a just flat movie with no redeeming features.
And sorry,
What?
just looking at or waiting for the music to return.
Fair enough.
There we go. Okay, so yeah, we've been watching quite a number of movies lately.
Well,
Actually, one thing we did was watch through all of James Bond.
yeah, we watched. Yeah, at this
We
point
have to
officially
rewatch
watched
some of the Brosnan ones that we grew up with, and then some of rewatch the Daniel Craig ones. But we found all of the old ones on.
I'm still not sure if I've
Blu-ray.
seen Quantum of Solace or not.
Wait, what?
As far as Daniel Craig Bond movies, I'm not sure if I've seen Quantum of Solace.
Okay.
I have no memory of that movie. So there's a very real possibility I didn't watch it.
Okay, well, we'll have to look back on it.
Let's see. Not that it matters. But yeah, we had, our local Barnes & Noble had a sale on, like, hey, here's a bunch of the, here's a bunch of the Bond movies if you want them. And we're just like, okay, sure, that sounds fun. So we picked up at least the ones we knew we'd like.
What do you
And
mean by
then-
the ones we knew we'd like? We picked up everything.
No. We didn't buy the,
The
I think
Dalton
we
ones
got
we couldn't
Dalton.
find the Blu-ray for.
Yeah. So we don't have the Dalton ones yet.
No.
Yeah.
But also, it was only 2 movies.
Yeah, it was only 2 movies, so it was
Whereas
just kinda
most
like,
of the
eh.
other discs were, or sets were, 4 per or something like that.
Yeah. And then there was like
Yeah.
Moore and Sean Connery, where I think there was like 2 different ones. And so yeah, we just watched like a boatload of Bond movies
It is
earlier this year.
I personally grew up with a lot of movies from the 1940s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s because my dad just had so many on VHS. And yeah, so I would be introduced to things like old Star Trek and James Bond and whatnot. But it's just so interesting. It's like, I mean, you're going back in time, seeing what were the things that were popular in those days. How did people dress? How did they speak? What vehicles and technology and architecture were there? But
Also,
there are some things that,
yeah, how racist were they?
what were you saying?
The movies.
What
Like
about the
going,
movies?
going back to some old movies and TV shows, just like how much casual racism they just stick in there, and you're like,
Well, appallingly, there were some movies, particularly the Connery ones, where they dressed him up as an Asian man with actual prosthetics and stuff. And I think in one movie they were going, oh, it's to infiltrate or whatever.
but it was just so weird and fake and jammed in there for no reason.
Yeah. Also, nowadays, you have to think certain spy film tropes just couldn't occur anymore because of our surveillance state.
Yeah.
With all of these cameras surveilling everyone's movements. Ooh, this is an interesting piece of gear I've never seen before.
Let's see. What's our opinion on the research of physical media and digital piracy in the light of companies turning digital media into temporary licenses? I'm not going to talk about piracy too much just because
Wait, what is this
I don't
about?
do a piracy.
Yeah,
just-
I do not like piracy at
Yeah.
all. The thing is,
I pirated a lot of stuff when I was younger because I just couldn't afford it, but now I've bought all that stuff, and that's about as far as I will say on the matter. I like digital preservation for older things, you know, SNES games, for example, that you literally cannot get anywhere else. That kind of thing actually feels somewhat justified.
But I also feel like having a physical product is one of the only ways you can ensure
That
you maintain control over it,
and
because
nobody's going to take it away from you. Yeah.
every
So we actually
game
bought-
platform can just you
Yeah.
know, shut down.
Snap a finger and say, nope, it's gone.
Your license is pulled or something else.
Yep, we're taking away your movie. We're taking away whatever this thing is. So, kind of on the, you know, on that topic, said we bought all the Bond movies. Like, we've been buying a lot of movies. Or, you know, whatever we don't buy, we get from, say, the library, for example.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, local libraries are great. There's
They're
also
great.
just, we've been going to a lot of sales at the library.
Yep.
Where you can find movies and CDs and books for 50 cents or $1 a piece.
Yeah. So we got The King's Speech yesterday and To Kill a Mockingbird. Oh, we got a location to the left, by the way, that we should probably go to.
And so I'm a huge proponent for physical media. The one issue, though, is making sure that you have the devices
Yeah.
to play said media.
So we actually picked up, well, we picked up a record player earlier this year.
Yeah.
Hey, Dragoneer, if you're in chat randomly, we finally got the record player.
Yeah, they had given us some money towards a record player, so
So we'd
thank
pick
you.
one
We
up.
finally have a record player.
I don't know if they're around, but just in case, might as well say it. But so,
Because, I mean, at the moment, vinyl is wildly popular in video games, having vinyl collections for soundtracks.
I just like it because it's kind of an affirmation of, like, I like this thing. Even if, like, actually listening to the vinyl is kind of inconvenient because you have to flip them over or, like, start and stop it. But it's still nice. But yeah, as far as, like,
I also grew up with vinyls. I think that's the thing. I don't know how old everyone in chat is, but we kind of grew up in that intersection of the analog era
Yeah, we
and
grew
the
up
digital era.
pre-digital, or like early digital before everything became digital, so it was kind of easy. Oh, I should probably come help you kill this bird, shouldn't I? But yeah, so we've been picking up a lot of stuff, digital or physically. So we were in DC back in September, and I've spent a lot of money on a bunch of old games. So like Breath of Fire 3.
Granted, these are games that haven't had remakes or
Correct.
re-releases.
Yeah, if there's a remake or a re-release, I won't buy the physical version because I don't need it preserved in its original state as long as it's in a good enough state. If there's like a major change, like say Dragon Quest 3, like the recent HD remake re-release, I might consider still having a copy of OG Dragon Quest 3 sitting around. Let's go do that event now that it's clear.
Okay.
But even then, you know, as long as the heart and soul is there, it's not that bad. Let's see. Could go for wave. Sure. Oh, we have wave already. Let's see. Wait, Dragoneer. I don't think it's the Fur Affinity Dragoneer.
I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
That's
like,
the
that's the
thing.
thing. They're a very private individual, so there's a very real possibility it was the same guy who I think did pass away, and I'm hoping not purely on purely on selfish means of, like, you know, they were a good long-term fan, and it would have been really sad. But I also doubt the, like, guy behind Fur Affinity was one of my Twitch viewers.
I don't. That's
But
the
I don't
thing.
know.
We don't know.
I don't have that close of a parasocial relationship with a lot of my viewers to know that information. And like that actually would have been incredibly flattering. But yeah, I have no idea.
But this was years ago.
Yeah.
I think it was probably during the pandemic when we were talking about getting a record player because we had been receiving records from video game developers and we're like, yeah, we don't actually have one.
Yeah. So I like bought the Hollow Knight soundtrack and some other things, and then yeah, some the Wingspan developers had sent us a record, and it was just like, yeah, I should figure out how to be able to play that.
And I didn't want to have to go back to my folks and say, hey, can I take the 1989 battery-powered Fisher-Price record player? Because that was something truly meant for kids. They have their own large turntable that belonged to my dad as well. That's an official one. probably an RCR or something. But yeah, so we ended up getting the Final Fantasy one.
It's very pretty.
Oh yeah, yeah, it is. And it is actually
It's a good
it's like an
one,
SL
too.
Technics.
Yeah, so it's like one of the top of line record players, kind of within the realm of what we were budgeting for.
It was one of the
expensive.
things where, also, I know that there are so many different types of record players too. You can get one with a belt. This one has a mechanical drive, so there is the concern that, well, a belt you can always replace, a mechanical drive, you know, if it gets off kilter, it's a bit more difficult to repair.
Yeah.
But it means that because it has a powered, I think there's like a preamp in it. So usually with record players, you have to have the record player, the preamp, then powered, like a power amplifier for your speakers, and then you have your speakers. So a traditional setup for record players, you have to have 4 different devices all strung together to actually get the sound out of one into the speakers. And so this one, what we have currently as our setup is the powered, the preamped SL Technics. And then we have it's like
Klipsch.
a little Klipsch. It's a kind of a retro speaker. So it's not 2 speakers like you would usually have. But what it is it has the power source inside it already. And so that means we only need 2 devices to play our records off of. You have the record player, which has the preamp already in it, and then you have the speaker, which is already powered. So, and the thing about this one too, though, is it has all the manual buttons on it and such. You had a Sonos, and some people used Sonoses before, but
Sonos was so crap. Like they've
had a lot of issues
would barely
with
connect, and
Yeah.
I'd have to spend like half an hour every time anything changed with my Wi-Fi just to get the Sonos reconnected. And after a while, I got sick of it.
And that's the thing too. So many devices are going to touch screens and other
Apps and
you
stuff.
just know you need to have some tangible buttons every once in a while. Those things can be repaired.
Yep, they can be repaired, or even if the company goes defunct, you still have the thing.
But if you have to use an app to access everything and all your options, then what happens when that app
Is gone.
or that
Yeah.
service is gone? Like, I worry for things like our Philip Hues, for instance. A lot of gamers have colored lights in their setups, and so we have some behind our television, and then
Yeah, we
a
got some
lamp
nice Philips
next to
Hues,
Wander's
but
setup.
if Philips ever decides, Hues aren't our focus anymore,
Suddenly you can't have your color
we
changing
have
light
really
bulbs function
useless
anymore.
light bulbs, yeah,
They just become regular light bulbs.
and that's stinky.
I really should actually be paying attention on the game as opposed to chatting.
I mean, it's kind of fun to be on a banter loop. Let's see. So yeah, that's part of the reason why we've been picking up a lot of physical stuff. Haven't been buying a whole lot of physical video games. We've been getting a lot of physical board games. But like we're getting the
board
physical
games,
version of
yeah.
Slay the Princess because we like that game so much. Part of the problem is you actually have to wait multiple months for the physical version, and so that kind of has a cooling effect on whether or not I actually want to get the physical version of the game.
Yeah.
Because by the time I get that physical version, I've already beaten it, probably. And so in Slay the Princess's case, it's easy to just wait, just because we did 1 playthrough, but there's room for like 5 more, or a lot more than that. I got a location here if
Yep,
you want to come do
yep,
it.
I'm
you are
almost
here.
driving.
Perfect. Oh, good. It's just nest. Makes it easy. You have a posse following you.
Yep.
I don't even know if that one dropped a chest. I don't think it did.
Getting a lot of stuff here. So yeah, definitely big proponent of having physical media. You know that so long as it doesn't get destroyed or damaged,
Yeah.
that
And
you
the
will
problem
always
is
have that copy.
an amount of physical digital media is still going to get destroyed over time just due to,
I mean,
data rot and
VHS
whatnot.
tapes are going to demagnetize.
VHS tapes, demagnetized CDs potentially can lose the data on them. Like there's
Even
a lot.
vinyls, with every single play, you're technically scratching off a little bit. So it might not be as high fidelity, but at the same time,
Still lasts
they
a
still
while.
last decades. I mean,
Yep.
we can play the cartridges off my dad's Atari, you know, from the 1970s just fine. Granted, the television that we have it playing off of is an old dial TV,
That hurts.
also from the 70s.
Hurts to listen to.
Yeah, well, that's because it just has the high-pitched hum for being as old as it is.
So there's a separate question away from physical media of, you mentioned something about games being worth your time. How do you judge if a game's worth your time? How many hours, price method? So for me, it's, I don't do dollar per hour because I feel like dollar per hour is kind of toxic. If we want to go back and talk about those gacha games, you know,
There are games that don't respect your time and they have you grind for hundreds of hours.
Yeah.
And what are you really getting?
Like World of Warcraft has a fantastic value proposition in terms of dollar per hour, but that doesn't make it a good experience.
Ooh, I'm at my next evolution.
So for me, one of the big ones is, quite honestly, just how long does the game live in my head afterwards? Is this a game I'm going to be thinking about? And so, like, I guess, well, I mean, Temtem Swarm, for example, probably isn't going to live in my head super duper long. You know, it's a game that I'm enjoying very much in the moment, but I'm not going to be thinking too deeply about it, you know, 20 years from now.
Well,
but
I still think it's
it's cheap,
nice
it's
co-op
fun,
experience.
it's a good date night game, and so it is worth it for me. So I guess maybe how would I describe it? It's not exactly an easy universal formula.
So I think the thing too is, so I like to play a lot of narrative games, and a number of those games, in all, tend to be under 10 hours.
Yeah.
Actually, there are some that might only be a few. But what you get out of it, it can vary. It can vary depending on the message that it's telling, the characters, and the experience.
The other thing kind of within that is just like, so like story can matter a lot. I think
There are some games that don't have story though, so I
Yeah.
suppose there has to be another factor.
I think there's a lot of factors, because like it can be a mechanic, it can be a story beat, it can be a single freaking character for all I care that carries an entire game for me. I think one is just like I have a very limited amount of time, and so like I have to kind of pick and choose, like, is this actually worth my time?
I think we've
At the
discussed this in the past
moment.
too, where when we were kids, it made sense to want the long games
Yeah.
because your parents would probably only let you get a couple games a year. So
Yeah.
I definitely went for the long RPGs. You know, the Knights of the Old Republic and things of that nature, where I could play it once, but then play it again with different character choices and whatnot.
I think I just don't have the compunction for that kind of thing. You know, one playthrough is usually good enough for me on a game. So much because I'm spoiled for choice is replaying this worth the experience compared to playing
Well,
through.
And that's the other
A new
thing too,
game?
is now there are so many games.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the big one for me, is that I have so many games just sitting in my library waiting to be played, or played for the first time, or waiting to be finished, that it quickly becomes kind of difficult to pick and choose, but then also difficult to want to dwell on any specific experience for too long. So I mentioned the factory automation game I was playing earlier. I just got to a grind wall and I said, this is no longer respecting my time. I've already put 10 hours in the last 2 days. And now I'm going to have to put in, you know, just as much time just to redo my entire setup to make progress again. And something about that just felt very exhausting. Oh, wow. I'm level 31. I think this is the highest level I've ever gotten in this game.
I'm still with the boss. I don't know where you are, but
I'm trying to max out turbo boost before we're done, because that's one of my achievements, but it's not looking like I'm going to be able to pull that off. Oddly enough, I haven't gotten any of my synergies. I've got like 2 of the things for it, but
I got 1 synergy.
yeah, dollar per hour of fun versus dollar per hour. I think that's a good point. But even then, like, fun kind of varies a little bit. For me, it's just density. I like really dense experiences. So one of the reasons why I've been enjoying I Am Future so much lately is just because it's a very dense experience.
Well, and to Yeah, so there's the dense experiences, but one thing I've noticed lately is that there are a number of maybe this is why things like this game with roguelikes and they're almost infinitely replayable. It's just a matter of how long can it maintain your attention.
Yeah.
What?
And it's nice because when it stops, there's no like lingering, oh, I never finished this game. What's a good example? Well, I was talking about Breath of Fire earlier. I've never beaten Breath of Fire 2 or Golden Sun 2. I want to, but I just got to the end of both of those games and I was just like struggling. And I've always wanted to go back and like finish them off properly. But that is a trial and a half to do so. Okay. Whereas a roguelike, like, sure, maybe I've never seen the super ultra secret ending of Hades, but I very much got my enjoyment and fun out of Hades.
So I've got one synergy for you.
Yeah, I haven't gotten any of my synergy moves, but that's okay. I don't really need them to do well on this one. Like, I clearly have the synergies, like, the correct passive with it. It's just not showing up. But that's okay, I'll live. My tentacles still just do a silly amount of damage regardless. Yeah, I've
There we
maxed out
go.
my
I
turbo
love this
boots,
deer
got
creature.
everything else. There are a lot of monsters. I guess it makes sense. It's probably trying to bury us a little bit. Oh, we just lose.
What happened?
Or no, never mind. I must have gotten hit there for a ton of damage.
Oh, where are you?
Up top right.
Okay.
I'm directly above you. I don't know why I took so much damage.
I'm pretty tanky, so hopefully I'm okay.
Yeah, hit your ult, because it will also help you. Because it gives you some healing.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What just happened? Everything exploded.
Yeah, everything exploded for a lot of damage. Okay, I'm going to try and hug the boss and do a bunch of damage to it. Fortunately, this is also one of those bosses. Oh, maybe I gotten hit by the boss. That's why I just instantly died.
Yeah, I think between some of the things I've been getting for my upgrades and whatnot, I might have a lot of defense and regen, so...
Yeah.
I mean, I am a turtle.
Yep. When are you going to play Black Myth Wukong? You know, I just have no interest.
Yeah.
It's just one of those where,
I
don't...
It's kind of like when everyone's playing something and say, oh, you gotta play it. It almost...
Yeah, I don't want to call myself a
dissuades
hipster,
you.
but I'm like so focused on indie games. I just instantly died again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll come down for you.
Maybe I took way more damage than I thought, but...
Are you okay?
Yep.
I have to dash out.
Yep. Yeah, I must be getting hit by something in the boss's setup. Or I'm just extremely flimsy compared to you. Problem is, that means I can't really be near the boss to harm it. I guess I'll just swing by and hit it with my ult whenever it's up.
Isn't it getting stronger the longer it's on the field?
I'm assuming that.
Because now I'm starting to have issues with my health. Maybe I can get up a little bit more. Just try to find healing items. But there we go. There's a dragon fruit.
There's just so many enemies. I can't even get near the boss. I have no idea why none of my synergies have popped up here.
I know that I had gotten one synergy.
Well, like, I see them. Like, it,
Oh, really?
it shows that I have the correct symbol.
Oh, you do?
Or, like, the correct passive-active combo. For at least one of them, because I know it because you have it. Okay, boss is dead. Doesn't
oh, the boss
matter.
is dead.
What's the best music design in the game for you? Oof. Oof.
Whoa, what? You did a lot of damage. How?
Me? Probably my tentacle. I didn't actually check. I should have. Okay, so what other things do I have to unlock? Crystal's ultimate 15 times in a single match. Oof. 20,000 damage to Tort Knight's Garden. Nikki's Fury 100 times in total. Also made some serious progress on that one. Not a whole lot of unlocks left for me. Defeat Auhi in less than a minute. I don't even remember which one is Auhi. Play 50 times. Wow, yeah, it's really just use the ult a bunch of times. Oh, do we want to do one more?
Sure. What should I try? Should I try Ori or something?
You know, I'm gonna close out of the lobby for a hot second. I want to take a look at my kudos. Because I'm missing the ult for Hoochik. And that feels weird to me. Or not the ult, the synergy for Hoochik. Use synergy. Oh, but that's toxin. Guess I've got a buncher poison. Let's see. Which of these would be mental? Wind, neutral, electric, Hoochik, toxic, Denise. Because, yeah, I know there's a bunch for toxic that I still need to grab. Water, earth, mental. Hanson's. Oh, it's this one. Locked synergy. 15,000 damage with Ignis Fatus. Which is Ignis Fatus? $20,000 damage with Tentacle Slash Plus, but I haven't gotten that one yet. Ignis Fatus. Can I check that anywhere? Skills? No, that's the meta tab. I have no idea. Let's see. Evolution. Looks like maybe the evolution was taking the slot, so... that's why. Okay, that's an interesting problem.
What about the evolution?
Because I wasn't evolving, it wasn't giving me my synergies.
Well...
Okay. You should be able to just join. I'm gonna send you an invite, though. So we don't have to worry about codes.
Okay.
Alright, do we want to do... Where'd Auhi be? Probably end of Arbory? I don't know if we're going to be able to beat it. Do we have a game of the year? Ooh.
Arbory?
Just the location.
Is it one of the easier ones? One of the harder
one of the
ones?
mid ones. It's below... It's easier than Side Park.
Okay. I'm going to try Ori this time.
Okay.
Seeing as how they've not been featured in this stream yet.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to think of games that would be my game of the year. I have a lot of games that go on my, like...
Well...
on my list.
My issue with games of the year is that
And
ideally it would be a game that you have played or finished playing to the extent that you feel like you can give an honest...
Yeah, one of the big lasting issues that I run into with Game of the Years and anything like that is just because I play so many games.
And you played the first hour of so many games.
There's that.
So the problem in that instance is, can you really judge a game just based off its first hour? And I would say no. there are some games where it might become too tedious or lag on, and you go, oh,
Yeah.
no, perhaps this isn't as great a game as I thought it was.
Yeah, so I can only judge the games that I've either finished or put an obscene amount of time into. And that's still kind of tricky in its own way.
And especially because, what did you say? There were upwards of 15,000
15,000 games launched on Steam this year.
What was?
15,000 games on Steam, at least. Mm-hmm. We won't know the number until the end of the year, obviously, but it's on track to be above 15,000.
And
which
so at
is an
that
insane
point,
number.
if you probably only try... I mean, first off, you are exceptional in that you get a lot of game keys for free.
Yes.
So imagine if the average gamer wants to play these games, how much could they afford per year?
Oh, yeah, the amount of games I play when I play them would bankrupt a lot of people.
So it's one of those things where, I mean, obviously then, I mean, this is a instance where, yeah, what are your favorite... I suppose maybe we don't need to necessarily take into account that a lot of other people probably only get to play 10 or so games in a year, which is why they look to streamers and such to say, hey, what games do you like?
Location in the top left, by the way.
But yeah, because you only experience the first hour of maybe 300 games, maybe less than that. I don't, we'd have to
No,
look.
it's definitely over 300 games per year.
You play the first hour of over 300 games per year?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I went to the wrong one again. Sorry.
That's okay, I'll hang out here. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
And so it's difficult because a lot of game lists tend to look the same. You have the few mainstays or AAA games that everyone's been looking forward to and enjoys. There's a few breakout indie games that are really well beloved. And there's probably, I think you would like to refer to them as the hidden gems.
Yes. And I think I'm fonder of the hidden gems. Like, I know everybody loved Balatro, for example, but I'm just kind of cool on it. It was a good game. I enjoyed it. But it's not like I'm running out of, running out of my house to go yell about how great it is. I like Beastie Ball, but I don't know if it's, like, Game of the Year worthy. It's also not done. Like,
There are a lot of games that are released that aren't quite done.
Yeah.
So then you go, well, is it... I think we were looking over a list of games that we wanted to finish for the year to say, hey, maybe we do want to make a end of the year game list. And then I realized, wait, no, this game technically released last year.
Yeah, so...
Or this released years ago, but maybe it was only early access and then now it just had its 1.0.
Yeah, so like Factorio just got its Space Age DLC. Where does that fit in? Let's see. Satisfactory hit 1.0. Where does that fit in?
Yeah, because you've been playing that for years, haven't you?
Yep.
And so you go, okay, well, what year is it going to be Game of the Year in?
Yeah, can it win Game of the Year twice just because? I'm like, maybe. I truly do not know. It's difficult for me to, like, make these judgments. It's also hard to play favorites. Like, the one I can think of most recently of game that I really loved was... Metaphor Refantasio, but I'm not sure if I'd really consider that Game of the Year worthy. I liked it. I thought it was neat. I don't know why I'm avoiding evolving, because it doesn't matter anymore this time around.
Oh, the funny thing is, your guy, he looks like...
Tentacles.
The way that his eyebrows and that line across... Does he have a really squared off chin, too?
Maybe.
I can't tell from this distance, but...
DLCs make a game capable of Game of the Year. And, like, I think it depends. If it's, like, a small DLC, no. But if it's, like, Red Alert, Yuri's Revenge, okay, I could see that. Or, like, Shadow the Erd Tree. But even then, some part of that just feels kind of tacky, because it's just like, not already won, don't give it to a game again unless it's, like, really that good, or it's a really dry year. Personally, I think just, like, if I'm ever in charge of any kind of game awards, and I'm actually a jury member for a game awards event that will be happening later this year,
Are you sure you're not under NDA for something like that?
I can say that I'm part of one. I
Okay.
just can't say which.
Because I thought you'd been approached for a couple at this point.
Yeah. Let's not talk too deeply about anything else.
Precisely. That's
But
why I'm saying
I
be
can say
wary.
I'm part of one of them. Nothing big or fancy, just like, hey, just a bunch of indie games. But, for me, I will probably never go out of my way to vote for like repeat winners or games that have like already gotten a lot of accolades just because they don't need them. You know, some of my favorite games just did not get any accolades whatsoever, and I feel kind of bad about that because they're really good. But, you know, just busy year, other games came out. And just like, yeah, Elden Ring is a fantastic game, but I don't think it needs to win Game of the Year 2 years in a row. If that's what's going to happen this year. I don't know. Let's see. So stuff like Factoria's new DLC is fine for Game of the Year, but a skin pack isn't in your book. Yeah, if it was like a skin pack, but oh, now I'm eligible to be Game of the Year again. It's like, no, that's really tacky. The other question is like, what about big updates? So, well, I don't know. Like, how would you judge Cyberpunk? They had the Phantom Liberty, but it's not that Phantom Liberty was amazing to put it Game of the Year worthy. But the update that came with it that finally made Cyberpunk maybe not bad, you know, does that make it Game of the Year worthy? And I think it's just easy enough for me to say, no, like after your games come out, 1.0, that's it. Any future updates are just like
think
honorable
about
mention
it like
worthy.
the Oscars. And granted, movies don't get expansion packs and DLCs.
Yeah, you don't
They're
update
finished
movies.
work.
That would be really funny if Marvel started doing that, though. Just like, actually, here's the Redux, or Disney Marvel. Whoopsie, we screwed up Solo. Here's the Redux of it, and this time Chewbacca is twice as large for some reason.
Oh no, for goodness sake. But yeah, they only qualify the year that they're released.
Yeah. So I don't know. Elden Ring was 2 years ago, but I totally understand your point. Oh, okay, good. Was Shadow the Erd Tree last year? My sense of time is gone.
Mm-hmm. Everything melds together.
I think part of it is just like...
We don't have the same structure.
Yeah. Other people might have a much more structured life, but for me, it's just kind of every
There's no
day
such
is
thing
the
as a
same.
weekend. There's no... Sometimes there doesn't even seem to be day or night.
Yeah. Especially like cloudy days or a day like today. Like, yeah, we should probably end after this run just so we can see a little bit of
So we
the
can get
sun.
outside.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're going to just exist.
Forever indoors.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is
well,
fine.
also just
to some degree.
perceiving life through a screen.
Yeah.
It was so interesting how back in the 90s there was this optimism about the, you know, the technical age and video games and virtual reality and such. Wow, this is the future. And now I'm starting to shrink back from it going, this isn't right.
Kind of hell sometimes. I don't necessarily mind my
I mean, it's
very
brought a lot of people together. I mean,
comfortable existence.
that too.
Okay, Shadow of the Erd Tree was June this year. Yeah, so that's probably why Elden Ring is probably going to show back up at the Game Awards. I'm sure Erd Tree was good enough. Maybe. Do we not have any duo events? I've been on autopilot for too long.
Yeah, we only have single. I think we need to get rid of some of them.
Yeah.
To make room for new ones. It might be on an RNG basis.
Maybe. I thought it was pretty scheduled. But yeah, we can start knocking
Well, what
them
I'm
out.
getting at is maybe there can only be so many up at once. And if you don't clear out
True.
one or two of them, then they persist. Wait, where are you going? I thought I saw a shadow clone of you. Or, no, you've just been...
I'm here.
Yeah, but which one are we going to?
I was going to do this one. Trigger it. I don't know if I'm going to stay here.
Oh, I
There's
see. It's a Pansun.
Yeah, I don't care about Pants on Feast. I was just going to trigger it and run. Because, yeah, Pants on Feast does not push the dial for me. We still need meta progression, but it's not a high priority.
just need to find food.
Yeah, the problem with winter is it penalizes people who sleep in. Yep. I'm pretty nocturnal even on the best of days. And so, like, there definitely are years where I do not see the sun. And that can be kind of negative.
So yeah, I would say that it's difficult to, because I think for me, when people say, what's your game of the year? It's almost as though they expect you to have seen all the games that there are.
I don't think
then,
I don't think that's necessarily true. Because there's a difference between what's your game of the year versus what's the game of the year. You know, I think that's kind of a conversation. I think that's a
because my scope
category,
would be far smaller.
Yeah,
than
it's a category
anything.
error born mostly of just language. The game of the year, you think what is the best game of the year, but it's no, what's your game of the year, and that really does limit it in a much more like manageable sense.
But I'm just thinking, I personally, we play a lot of games, but when it comes to games that I finish, I don't think it tops.
You know the sad answer?
10. What?
Slay the Spire, the board game. I don't think I'm even joking. I think Slay the Spire, the board game actually is my favorite game that I played this year. I wish we had more time for it because it's very fun. But that also feels very tacky because Slay the Spire is a video game that already came out and got plenty of accolades.
We've collected a number of video games turned board games, so that's a topic and a video for another time. Didn't even realize there was a chest down here.
Yeah.
I really need to find food. I'm trying to find more barrels.
Yeah, I guess I got kind of lucky with a couple of them.
There we go. This has pansuns in it. I want food.
Money! Oh, there's a peach. Just south of me.
Okay, I'll try running for it.
I got the big wave synergy, and that's carrying quite hard. After we finish this run, I
probably should have done... Well, actually, I don't know if Ori has many defensive moves, do they?
Ori is very flimsy. They mostly benefit from just being kind of quick, but don't do great in a crowd situation.
Yeah, I suppose I've been playing so many characters with defensive abilities that I'm not used to being so defenseless.
Yeah.
I also haven't found any synergies.
Did I not evolve on the last one? Oh. No, I got a synergy. When does this guy evolve then? So is there an endless mode in this game? Not yet, no. Technically, if you want to do a semi-endless mode, you just try and avoid killing the boss for as long as possible. You can definitely tack on some extra time, but it gets a lot harder. I feel like this year is too short, though. Some games need time, especially considering games are half-baked now. Yeah, I think for me, if a game releases half-baked, I don't consider it released at all. I just consider it like a soft crowdfund than an actual release. So what's a good example of that?
I don't know. They're just games that are in development for years.
Yeah, the thing is I usually just, like, delete games from my mind if they're not ready yet. I played, like, a time loop game recently that was very much not ready yet. And, like, I'm not going to think about that for a while, even if it does come out. I got a Wonder Stream. Yeah! Well, they were rare because I wasn't doing them. We got an event down here, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, we also got the boss.
Oh, no. I feel ill-prepared. I have no synergies.
How he approaches. So this is the one we have to kill in a minute. Charge it.
This is the one we have to kill what?
In 1 minute.
In 1 minute?
Get going.
I don't
Fight.
know if I'm capable.
No, you don't have to.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna try and... I wish it had spawned next to me. Ow. Ooh. That hurts.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna need healing.
So's the boss. Boss dead.
Wow. Did it defeat it in less than a minute?
Hey.
You got it.
Got it. Yeah, Tentacle Slash is, like, without its synergy is still just insanely strong. Oh, maybe it did evolve to my final form. I can't tell.
And it looks like we unlocked an Ignis Fatus.
Oh, we did? Mm-hmm. Oh, there we go. Because that is one of the things I need. How do you get... Oh, you get that for defeating Auhi in a minute.
Yeah, precisely. It's the flame.
Oh, that's the reason why this character has been garbage, is because I needed to do that achievement.
Yeah, that's the thing that's interesting about this game with the progression, is that you do need to complete certain mini quests and whatnot within the game.
I really like that system. Normally achievement hunting is boring, but here it's kind of fun because you're actually making meaningful progress by doing so. Oh, all right. Well, I think that's going to be it for us here. As much as I'd like to play more, we will have to leave that for another day, or probably another update just to give the game some more time in the oven. Because yeah, I adore playing it. I think it's lovely. I think it's really cool. Having a good co-op bullet heaven that I can play with my wife, and I think we'll try and play some other ones co-op as well, just to, you know, get the experience a little bit more. But what was I going to say beyond that? I don't know. I guess the sponsorship period is well over, but might as well say that Temtem Swarm is available on Steam now. It's been out for a couple of days, and it's quite good. Like, if you like bullet heavens, this one's worth looking into. Especially if you have friends. It's a fine solo experience, maybe not as much staying power as some other ones, but for like a $10 nice jaunt while you're waiting for things to get further updates, it's a good one. Or if you've got somebody that hasn't played a whole lot of bullet heavens, this is like probably the best starter one here. Any good co-op tower defense games? I'll talk about that in another video or another stream. I think we actually have one in the tank that we're going to be looking at together. But for now, at least, I guess one last thank you to Crema for reaching out and sponsoring the video and the streams of this. And we're very much looking forward to this getting more updates. Because yeah, I want to see what other Temtem there are going to be. Because we've got six left to come. And honestly, I hope they keep going. But we will see. For now, thank you all so much for coming out today. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, bye.